Hello everybody, welcome back to another product opening video for the MTG Bulk Mythic YouTube channel. If you're so far liking the content, please take some time to like, share, follow the channels for more videos. I got a lot of different things in store coming up. I wasn't able to attend my pre-release at my local game store due to whatever's going on in the world today, but I was able to at least get some pre-release packs. So this pre-release pack right here, I'm going to go ahead and open up today. Alright, so make sure you pay attention, stay tuned to the video, because at the end I'm going to talk about how you can actually win the Arena code for the 6 free packs that's inside this pre-release pack here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started. As you can see, just the standard pre-release pack. So for those of you who haven't done a pre-release before, haven't opened a pack inside here, there's going to be 6 booster packs from Zendikar Rising and 1 individually wrapped foil promotional card for the pre-release. Now that card is any rare or mythic within the set, and then the card will have a foil date stamp on the art for the date of the pre-release event, just as a commemorative item. And guess what? It's an extra rare. It's also part of your sealed pool. So as we crack it open here, you also have this cool reusable box. Comes with a D20 spin down die with this set symbol on it. This one's white. I've also opened one that's kind of a pearlescent green. It's kind of cool. You have inside here a guide to, in this instance, some of the lore within the set, within the plane of Zendikar, and then how to build a pre-release deck. If you really don't have any other guidelines, it's got some simple statistics, card counts, things like that to keep in mind while you're building your deck. Alright, and this one, it looks like our promo card is a Coralhelm Chronicler. 3 mana, so 2 and a blue for a 2/2 Merfolk Wizard. And you can see right there is the date stamp for pre-release weekend. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, draw a card, then discard a card. So it has loot for when you cast kicked spells. And then when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a card with kicker from among them and put it into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So some card advantage, card selection there if you're building a kicker strategy within your deck. Alright, and then the back side of this has that code that we will be giving away later. Again, stay tuned to the end of the video on how to win that. A little deck divider for inside your box, so you can divide your main deck from your sideboard, which is the remainder of your cards, and then our 6 booster packs right here. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with opening these up. Set these up here. So the way I like to do it when I open up my deck, I'm going to go ahead and crack this. A lot of people don't like to, because there's actually a small community within Magic that collects the pre-release cards, and some even within that try to collect them inside of the cellophane unopened, which is kind of, it's up to them, but I like to go ahead and open up my cards. So I create piles based off of color as I open up the decks and sort them out. That way I can kind of see how deep my pool is. So Resolute Strike is white. I do it in Wooburg order also. There's Deliberate, which is the card advantage, card selection common. X Kor Celebrant, X Kor Cleric. Now I don't know too much about this set in a whole. I haven't played a lot with it. I haven't obviously been to a pre-release, so I'm not gonna know too many of these cards. This is the showcase frame, so alternate art with the Zendikar style framing for Spitfire Lagak. It's a 4 mana 3/4 landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So a little pinger there with landfall on it. Nahiri's Binding. Now I do know this is one of the premier removal spells, because you can either lock down a creature or a planeswalker from attacking, blocking, or having any activated abilities. Pretty powerful there. Here's Canyon Jerboa, landfall mouse. Gives other creature or all creatures you control +1/+1 whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. Veteran Adventurer. So this is like your curve topper slash party filler. So it can count as any of the sub creature types within a party, and then others. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature already in your party that you control. 5/5 with vigilance. So you can bring that down a little bit in limited or draft, depending on how many creatures you've cast of the other sub creature types. And here's the Windrobber, Merfolk Rogue. And our rare is Turn Timber Symbiosis, a 7-mana sorcery. To look at the top 7 cards of your library, put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield, and if its converted mana cost is 3 or less, you can put 3+1/+1 counters on it. The rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So, kind of expensive, but if you don't hit anything that's 4 or more converted mana cost, you kind of get a little bit of a boost for the mana disadvantage there by adding +1/+1 counters to it. Now on the back side is the Turn Timber Serpentine Wood. So this is the land that enters the battlefield tapped. If you pay 3 life, it can enter untapped, and adds for a green mana. So I don't know what people are calling these yet, kind of like the shock lands, but instead they cost 3 life to enter untapped instead of 2, and they don't have a basic mana type, or basic land type, and it's also the back side of the card. So, and then our full art basic land there, Core Warrior token. Shout out again at TC's Rockets where I picked this up. They also have their own custom Core Warrior token that you can get from them. They also have an excellent online and in-store selection of singles, so you can check them out for anything you may want. They also have sealed product that they sell in-store and online. Not quite yet in the full swing of hosting events, but at least you can still get your product from them. Curbside pickup and all that, or mailed to you. Next pack here, Farsight Adept. This is a core wizard. Fisher lizard. One of the many goblins that are in this set. A lot of red goblins of all different sub-creature types within a party, so it is possible to draft or build a limited deck out of red goblins that also can assist in any other color combination with a party mechanic. Skyclave Squid, 2 mana 3/2 defender, but if it has landfall, if a land enters the battlefield this turn, it can attack as if it did not have defender, which is pretty good. Tuk Rebel Fort, constructed all-star, draft dud for the most part. I haven't seen it do too much in draft, but it's part of the historic goblins deck. That's mono red because it gives everything haste. So when you dump all your goblins onto the battlefield, then you can just go ahead and attack for them. Here's Song of Treachery, which is a threaten or act of treason effect to gain control of an opponent's creature on the backside. It enters the battlefield tapped red land. And Maddening Cacophony for our rare. So 2 mana kicker for 4 mana, grand total of 6 if you're able to pay it all. Each opponent mills 8 cards if it was kicked. Instead, half their library, rounded up into their graveyard. And then a foil rare, Kargan Intimidator, 1 in a red for a 3/1. Cowards can't block warriors, and then you can activate each of its 3 modes once per turn. So it's 1 mana, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn, and it gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Target creature becomes a coward until end of turn, and target warrior gains trample until end of turn. So if you have 3 mana, you can pump him, make 1 creature not able to block your warriors, and another warrior can also trample through. So pretty powerful spell there. Pretty powerful creature. And then this is the token card that you can get now for the double-faced cards. Basically, you just take a pen, write in what it is on both sides of the card in the slots there, make any other notes there, and then it has a normal magic back. In the event that you're not playing with sleeves, or you have sleeves that are not fully opaque, then you don't have to give away the card that you have to your opponent or have it marked on the top of your library because it doesn't have a magic back. kind of a different take on the double-sided cards than Magic's done before. Before they would have a token that's like a checklist that would have what card it was with the Magic back on it, and you would put that in your deck, and then you'd have, and then either way you can leave this in your sideboard, and then when you play your token card, it allows you to just go ahead and it represents it. You can grab it out of your sideboard and put it into play, or execute whatever the spell is. So moving on here to our third pack, halfway through. Getting pretty deep on red, getting pretty deep on white. Haven't seen a lot of black yet. Green's not bad. There's another white 5-mana 4/4 Ox with landfall. Whenever land is battlefield under your control, tap target creature your opponent controls. So it could be a good curve topper for an aggressive deck. If you've kind of run out of gas and everybody else's creatures are bigger than yours, you can start eliminating blockers. Here's the classic green removal spell, Rabid Bite. Haven't seen a lot of the artifact equipment yet, but again, with as it is in this set, the equipment has a inner battlefield ability to go ahead and attach it, so you don't have to pay that first equip cost if you already have a creature in play, which is pretty cool. So here's the Aqua Warrior. It's just a 4/5 for 6 with trample. On the back side is the red tapped land. So there's been a lot of talk about how many lands you can play in your deck, depending on how many of these flip lands you have. Most of them are in the battlefield tapped, so that's really the discussion. Like how many tap lands are you willing to sacrifice to put more spells in your deck? Some people are saying you can play 3 or 4 of these. And depending on it really depends on how frequently you plan on casting the spell itself, as whether or not that can replace a land in your deck. Scourge of Skyclave is a 2-mana, 1 and a black for a demon with kicker of 5 and a black. When you cast this spell, if it was kicked, each player loses half of their life rounded up. So if you could pay the full 7 mana, each player loses half of their life rounded up. That's also you. And then its power and toughness are each equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players. So kind of an interesting effect. It's better the closer to death both players are, right? So you have to get both yourself and your opponent way down to make this thing even better. And then we have a Cascade Seer foil. So foils are appearing a little bit more frequently these days in both the draft boosters, and of course you have all the all foil collector boosters, and then in the middle is the set booster, which has guaranteed foil in every single one too. So classic white removal spell, Smite the Monstrous, Scorch Rider with kicker, 4/3, but if you kick it, it gains haste until end of turn. So for an extra 2 mana, you have a haste creature. Into the Roil. What else we got here is pretty good. Here's the Expedition Skulker Rogue. Draga Visionary replaces itself in the hand, so it's good. Anyway, if you're already at 4 mana in green, it'd be nice to keep some cards in hand, for that matter. Again, another Goblin Warrior. So really, there's a red-white aggressive deck that's out there. There's a hint at some red-black sacrifice, but I haven't seen a lot of it. I haven't seen a lot of sacrifice outlets. So there's a lot of cards like this one here, the Mind Carver, that rewards you if you were able to use that steals your creature and then sacrifice it, and then it'll pump up whatever's on the Mind Carver if you get enough in your opponent's graveyard, stuff like that. But it doesn't feel like a super supported deck in the format in limited. Here's Inscription of Ruins. So there's a cycle of rare sorceries, modal cards with kicker. So the kicker is if that you can choose more than one of the modes, all the way up to all of the modes at one time. So if you cast it for its normal casting cost, you can pick one mode. If you're able to kick it, you can pick all or any of them. So this one is the opponent discards 2 cards. You return target creature with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, or destroy target creature at converted mana cost 3 or less. So again, if you were going to do all 3 of them or any 2 of them, it would cost you a grand total of 7 mana, including 3 of which were black. A little plant token there. O1s as is the usual for plants. Mesa Lynx, throw back to Step Lynx. But in this case, when it's not your turn, it gets pumped. What else do we have here? Spare supplies, overcosted, draw a card, but if you're not in blue, it can help. Sky Dancer, nice flash flying rogue here, can be used to surprise your opponent, or be used with some of the other rogue tribal mechanics that are in this set here. Tangle Florahedron, so it's a 2 mana 1/1 that you can tap to add a mana, or it's enters the battlefield tapped land. So if you don't have the 2 mana yet, you can use this to get lands into play. If you have the 2 mana, then, well, it generates land and it's also a body, so the benefit there for curving out, right? Skyclave Relic, now I'm really excited about this one. For Commander, I'm working on building a Send Triplets deck, and so this is another card I can use to help generate mana that's not of my commander's color when I take control of my opponent's hand during my turn. So I'm kind of excited I opened this one up, but it's a 3 mana artifact with kicker 3. It's indestructible. It has the ability to tap for 1 mana of any color, but if you kicked it, if you paid all 6 mana, then you actually can make 2 tapped tokens that are a copy of this. So for 3 mana you get 1 Skyclave Relic. For 6 mana you get 3 of them. And the first one you get to use right away. So it's also a pretty good ramp spell. Looking forward to trying to figure out if it's slottable into that Send Triplets to help fix mana for spells that are of my commander's colors. Last pack, everybody. While I'm going through this, I'm going to go ahead and talk about how you can get that pre-release code that came out of this box. Basically, what we're going to do is after this, I'm going to go ahead and put the card list that we opened here into the show notes. And what I want everybody to do for the opportunity to win is go ahead and comment on the video with whatever deck archetype or cards specifically, or what would you do with this if you were at a pre-release? This card pool right here. How would you build your 40 card limited deck with the card pool that we've opened here? And then come Wednesday, so that would be Wednesday, look at the calendar. So that'd be Wednesday the 7th of October, I believe. Maybe incorrect at that. Have to pull up the calendar here, get these packs, empty packs out of my way. Yeah, so that would be October 7th. On Wednesday, October 7th, I will choose the one comment that I like the most. Phylath World Scepters are rare in this last pack. It's a 6 mana 5/5 with landfall. And when it enters the battlefield, you create an 0/1 green plant creature token like the one we opened, or again, shout out TC's Rockets, another one of the custom tokens that they've made that you can play. This one's a 1/1 insect, but you can check out their full variety of custom tokens they have at their store as well to play at the game. And then for each basic land you control, you get an 0/1, and then whenever you play another land, you can put 4+1/+1 counters on one of those plant tokens of your choice. Right. So again, take a look at the deck list, or take a look at the card list. Tell me what archetype or what cards you would be most excited about playing in this card pool. And on Wednesday, I will choose the comment that I like the most, reach out to that commenter, and you will be the recipient of the pre-release code that came out of this box. So thank you all again for watching. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to have more than just card openings coming up here. Talk about, again, my commander decks, other products within the Magic world, and hopefully eventually some gameplay videos. So appreciate you guys checking us out. Share with your friends, and we'll talk to you again soon.